Hello everyone, Nathan here and welcome back to the channel. We are finally taking a look at Manor Lords and its new demo. Now in this video we're going to be taking a look on what you should be doing in the early game of Manor Lords and what are the best practices to get your village going. Now of course this is a demo and things are subject to change, but I doubt things are going to change drastically from this to launch, so this should still be mostly all fine on the launch, but this is mostly for the demo anyway. So I've played about 8 to 9 hours of this so far, just to kind of get my bearings. I think you can play this for a couple of hours and get your get used to all the buildings, but we'll go take a look at it now. So when you do click a new game, it does give you 3 options, 2 of which are being unlocked. Now one of them is the Robber Baron, which is an infamous knight is residing in the castle up north, build with strength and fighting. Realm conquest is use economics and diplomacy and warfare to your advantage to become the sole ruler. And then we got the one that is open to us, which is you are the first lord to set on these lands, start from nothing and build a prosperous medieval city. So that implies, I guess, no other AI, whereas this one maybe like the Realm Conquest is like the global map where you got multiple claimants, as it says here, and then maybe the Baron rather is like a 1-on-1. So that's very interesting. So when you get past the new game options, you will get shown your portrait, your coat of arms, and your customization. You can rename yourself like so, you can change your icon and you can even import your own custom logo if you are a content creator or if you just have a logo for work or anything really. I don't have my logo right now on hand, but yeah, you can customize it however you wish. We could go back all fancy if we want and bring out those real French colours. There will be options, at least this says demo game up settings, but I highly doubt this will not be in the full game. Maybe even more options. So far we know that you could start off with a higher, more demanding approval or more tolerant approval, which we'll get to that game mechanic later on. As well as that, you can increase the starting resources or have nothing. And from what this game says is weather events, so like rain can damage exposed supplies, and maybe there's like thunder and lightning and more horrendous weather. But yeah, that's all we know in this demo. So the first thing when you load into the map, you'll notice how gorgeous the game is. It is absolutely stunning. You do have a set amount of families, which we are going to go through all of this information together. So the first thing we have is unassigned families, and assigned families will keep them together because they're the same thing. So families, or I guess population, works in Manor Lords is each family starts off unavailable to you or unassigned to you, but every time you build a new job you can add them in. So let's go build a logging camp somewhere like here, and all of these families will build. Now just because you're assigning jobs or families to jobs does not mean they won't do anything else. If there's nothing to build, they won't go do anything, but if they've been assigned jobs and they've got nothing better to do other than, for example, a hunter, if there's nothing to hunt, they'll go and help with other jobs, so you're not completely locked there. So we'll let them build this and we will go take a look at that menu. Alright, now that we've built the logging camp, we can take a look at the UI for the jobs. So in this case, for the logging camp, we have 3 families available to us. We can increase it and put all 3 families, 3 out of 5 families onto this, so they'll start taking logs down. Of course, the next thing you want to do is make sure that everyone has a house. So in Manor Lords, the unique thing about the homes is that they're flexible plots. What does that mean? Well, you can literally make them in any shape you want. You want to make them some weird shapes? You can. You can make whatever you want as long as it's big enough. See, such as this, it's too small. You make it. It won't do it because you need to make this bigger like that. maybe it's further. Well, this one is probably because of this area, but yes. Anyway, of course, when I want to show off something, I fail to, but there we go. And there we have it. The other things you want to do when you get inside is making sure that you have some kind of food production going. So the food that are on the map currently is wild animals, which you can see the number of wild animals to the right in the brackets. As well as that, sometimes you have berries, which in our area it doesn't like we actually have any berries. There is a regional viewer, which we'll get to later. So the first thing you want to do to get food started is go for a hunting camp and then place it down. We don't want to overlap it because they might migrate. We're just going to place it on the edge and then let them build that. So we're going to let these buildings be built, and I'll be right back. Alright, so now that we have homes for all 5 of our families, they have somewhere to live, and we don't have, well, these should disappear eventually once this guy fills in the home. But another thing you'll want after you, or while you build the homes, is a woodcutter's lodge. This guy provides firewood, and firewood provides fuel for the homes. But after you've done that, got 5 homes for your 5 families, because you always start with 5 families, at least in the current build, and got the woodcutter's lodge, as well as the logging camp and the hunting camp, you finally, or rather next, you want to get a water access point, which you get via the construction, the village life, and the well. Now the wells can only be built in specific areas, such as on water veins. We're going to build, oh, there we go, we're going to build this this well over here, because we kind of have, well, we could place it, but you know what, we'll place it near the road here on the road next to the homes. But yes, so once that's all complete, they'll have access to water, and that will fulfill one of the requirements, which is water. The red means that they absolutely will need it, and approval rating goes down if they don't, which, as you can see, my approval rating is quite low because I left the game running while they built their stuff. You don't do this. I'm doing it for the sake of the video. But yeah, so red means that the approval rating will drop if they don't have access to it, and blue is what they want, but it won't drop approval rating. So after that's all sorted, mortar's all good. What's next? Well, next we want to get a granary down. A granary will be able to store our food we get from the hunting or any other forms of food. As well as that, we want a storehouse, which we're going to yeet down here. Of course, I'm not planning this village at all. We're just doing this for the sake of presentation. So we're going to let them build, and we'll see you in just a moment. And now that the storehouse is built, or rather the storehouse is built and the granary is built, the next thing you want to do, and this is one of the more important things, is to get a marketplace. So the way you do it is you place down a marketplace. I've already placed one, but I'll show you here. You place a marketplace. It doesn't build anything. It's literally like a zone in city skyline. And then what you do is build stalls in it. So we're going to build some stalls, one of each. Oh, do we not have any? Oh, there we go. Let's get to work. We're just going to build them here. And these will be built, and they will sell food, firewood, and clothing. But clothing is irrelevant to us until we get leather, which we'll get to in just a little while. Right, so now that we have the market stalls down, you do need people on them, which currently we do not have enough people. So one thing you probably want to do around this time is check your food. We got some alright amount of food, so it's probably time to expand. The way it works is if our approval rate is high enough, which this will go up now that we've got our marketplace and all that, we build more homes and new people will just come. So let's go do that. Alright, so now that we got the tannery built, we also got a couple more buildings or more burgage plots. We do have 9 more families now, or rather 9 families overall, so that's more jobs, and our approval rating is at 50%. So we're going to add someone to the tanner, which I've already done, which turns pelts that you get from the woodcutter's camp into leather that will then transport to, not the food stall, but the clothing stall, which we can't see right now, which then that, oh, we don't want to zoom in, that will zoom in not zoom in, but that will fulfill the clove requirement once they actually get the leather, because that's what clothing is defined as. If we have a look at should be on this, right? We click the clothing store world, it will tell you here. There we go. So it distributes cloth, leather and yarn to the burgage plots to get the stuff you need. So that is the basics of what you need to know how to get started with your village on the Manor Lords demo, and possibly even the full game. But there's some small little things that you probably want to know before I head off. The things you want to know is that tools here, there's an option for tools that can be used to get veggies. This is how you get vegetables on this game. You need them in the garden. Okay, so we have one, so we're gonna add this into one of our residential plots. The extensions like this, let's go to that. These are based on how big the yards are. So if the house is too small, like such as this one, it doesn't have an extension. But if we go all the way over here, I've already started to get this going a bit. We have a mine here, which will give us iron ore, which would then take it to the bloomery, which then converts the iron ore that we get from the mining pits into iron slabs. Then once this is complete, the smithy, which we haven't completed yet, will then turn the iron slabs into tools. So then you can get started on your vegetable plots. I highly recommend getting vegetable plots because they are generally quite good for food. But of course, later on when you get gold or silver rather, you can get chicken coops and goat sheds. But that is for a later time. And I'll probably do a different video for farms and trading, because that is a little bit more complex and I don't want this video going on for too long. This is purely just for the basics of, how to set up your village and get it going. But I think that is it for this video. This is just a small video to get you started on Manorlords for the demo and perhaps even the full game if nothing changes. I really highly doubt anything will change drastically from the launch, so I think this will be the generally useful then anyway. But if you did enjoy this video, then do be sure to drop a like and a comment. Let me know if you are enjoying the demo or waiting for the full game, because I know some people would. But other than that, subscribe if you're new, and I will be talking to you again soon. Goodbye.